I say Brumes there doing the business of what you know how to do best. I welcome you on the show. Sports update on Trust TV. Adeni G Shafe. We just saw that particular long jump there. For that lady, she has really done it for herself when it comes to long jump, and she'll be going to the Olympics. At the Confederation of African Athletics, she won gold medal to make it a top-ranked athlete for herself. For the fact that right now she's preparing ahead of the Olympics, and she wants to make sure she train hard alongside her coach. That will be the first story we'll be looking at. 2024 Paris Olympics. As a Brumes promises hard work with coach for podium finish. She wants to get to the podium by being among the top 3 long jumper at the Paris Olympics that will be coming up starting from July. And right now, from the way it is, the lady has really been edging closer to that level of 100% fit to that competition that is coming up in France. Right now, joining us to talk sport this hour is Joseph Peter from Kaduna. Good to have you, Joseph.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, sir.
Yes, we're talking about Paris Olympics, where our own star girl, Ese Brumes, is saying she's going to work hard alongside her coach for her to achieve that podium finish that we are actually hoping that she'll be able to get because of the fact that she won gold at the just concluded CAA championship that took place in Douala, Cameroon. And right now, she says she's going to train hard alongside her coach who really knows his onions concerning how the lady has been training, and they want to make sure Ese Brumes gets to the podium of Paris 2024 in the Olympics.
That's a good mindset to have. When it comes to sports, it's all about the mindset. If you set yourself a target and you work hard to achieve that target, obviously he who sows always reaps, right? So for Ese Brumes to have this kind of mindset is actually a good thing, and it will encourage her, I'm sure, to do the needful, do all the tasks that is required for her to be fit, fully fit for Paris Olympics, so that she can win us bronze or gold medal rather. So it's a good thing that she's having that kind of mindset, and she should keep it up and work very, very hard towards it, because we all know the end result of work is, success, right? So we wish her the very best success, because our success is also our success at Nigerian. And the fact that she didn't participate in the just concluded African Championship it should not be a deterrent to her performance as per the Paris Olympics once the time reaches. Because when it comes to performance, it's always all about your preparation. Performance makes a good preparation, and once she prepares well, I'm sure she will do us very, very proud.
Well, while we're saying this, it means the same thing should be applicable to all the Team Nigeria contingents that will be going to the Paris Olympics, because it's not just about getting the gold at the African Championship or the African Games. Now, going to at the world level, we want to see our top athletes like Ese Brumes, Nekwechi, Tobia Muson, Favor Ofili, all of them are qualified for the Olympics to be able to get to the podium. That's feeling of actually singing our anthem is always a very, very touching one. By the time you see that Nigeria being able to win gold, we get our anthem to be at least sung over there at the Olympic. That will be a big one for all the athletes. And aside the fact that they will be working hard and smart, the AFN, Athletics Federation of Nigeria, and Nigerian Olympic Committee, NOC, will be working hard to see how these athletes can get it right. In fact, as we speak right now, the para athletes are already moving to Lagos and Abuja for para athletes and para badminton camping ahead of the Para Olympics, or the one they call Paralympics, that will be coming up also in France. That will be in August to September. So as we see, it's not only the able-bodied athletes that are planning ahead of this competition. We are also looking at the para athletes who are also rooting ahead of getting to perform well at the Paralympics.
Yeah, it's a good thing when you are seeing moving objects, objects, coming together to work for a common goal. When the NOC and the Federation of Sports are making moves like this, you become encouraged, because it doesn't just leave the athletes in isolation doing their thing and trying to prepare on their own. That's not the case. Everybody is doing his own part. And when everybody is doing his own part and is doing it judiciously, and when everybody is focused on the same target, then they tend to be results most of the time. At least 90% all of the time you get results when there is coherence and when there is unity of purpose. So in this case, it's a welcome development. They should keep it up. Let who needs to go to Abuja go to Abuja. Let whoever needs to go to Lagos, and let them be taken care of. And then I believe as an athlete, we all have, or they all have personal targets, right? They have set a target of national level. They've done it. They've done that. They've also achieved that of the African level. This is the center stage now where everybody in the world gets to see you. This is a bigger platform. This is a better spectacle that it's not like the African and the national level. And I'm sure for them that will be the epic of their success, and they would want to win. Also, they want to make sure that the Nigerian national anthem is sung as many times as possible for the cause of victory. So I really wish them the best, and I believe that as long as they are doing what they need to do and the federations are doing what they need to do, we will see success come the Paris Olympic and even the Paralympic after that.
Okay, we're talking about Olympic preparation for Team Nigeria there. For SA Brumes, she wants to work smart and also hard ahead of the Olympics to be able to do well and get to the podium of that competition. They are wishing her the best alongside our coach and the entire Team Nigeria contingent that will be moving to Paris come July. Well, from the way it is right now, Nigerian team are really trying to see how they can do well according to AFN. To make sure that all the athletes that will be going to the Olympics are at their best. And also, they will get all the necessary support coming from the Ministry of Sport Development there. Right now, we move away from athletics. Let's talk about a big one, because this time around, it seems Gernot Rohr is really playing mind games against Nigeria. To some extent, Eagles have given the chance to be able to talk about Super Eagles and also about Nigeria every time. Looking at this particular one, 2026 FIFA World Cup, it will be shameful for Nigeria to miss the Mundial. According to Gernot Rohr, well, we missed the World Cup sometimes back, and then right now, the way it's going, Eagles just have to work harder, because just some few days ago, Razak Omotoyosi, Benin Republic ex-player, said Eagles needs to work hard. Now, another one is coming from the coach of Benin Republic, Gernot Rohr, who was formerly coach of Eagles, saying it will be shameful for Nigeria to miss the Mundial. Well, do you agree with this? Because I still don't understand where that shamefulness is coming from, that word, according to Gernot Rohr. Joseph.
He's the coach of the Republic, and I'm not surprised. He used to be the coach of Nigeria, so he would want to play mind game. For him, this is, a kind of a way of, mounting pressure, more pressure, which will actually not do us good, or do the Super Eagles good. Him saying that it's a shameful thing. I don't know where what shameful is coming from, because this is not the first time that a country that plays football gets to miss the World Cup. This is not the first time I'm missing the World Cup, and it's not going to be the last, probably. But then he can say what he wants to say to, gain momentum for himself, for his own team to actually get to, set or meet that target. And, I would like to remind him that this is a group containing 5 countries, or 6 countries rather, and each and every one of them usually field out 11 players into a football game that they are supposed to win and qualify to the World Cup. So the target is both for Benin and for Nigeria. So as well, if he's saying it's shameful for Nigeria not to go to the World Cup, then it's going to be as well shameful for Benin Republic also not making it to the World Cup. But then I am quite certain that our players will not listen to this. They are professionals. They should set their mind on their target and try to achieve it. And it is definitely, and it is like exclusive. Like, it is very, very much achievable. I don't see the difficulty in it, though they have to express that on the pitch. I understand that, and it's difficult. I understand that, but I believe they can. Every single home of all these opponents, starting from Benin Republic and even South Africa, at the maximum point. And then whatever Gernot Rohr is saying right now will not matter. But then he's just playing mind game, and you can't blame him. He also wants to win. That's why he's saying whatever he's saying.
Well, even though we know that he's playing mind games, but to some extent, the Eagles, the Super Eagles, actually allow him the chance to be able to talk down on us, because if they have won all the games, like the last game we played against them that they defeated 2-1, if we have won their game, this wouldn't be coming up. If you have defeated South Africa, this also won't be coming up. So it means We play how many matches now? We drew 3, we lost, and it's not too good for Nigeria at all. For the way that group, when it was actually done, the draw, a lot of people tipped Nigeria that yes, this is an easy, although we know that it's not going to be an easy ride. But right now, it's becoming much more mathematical than even the football itself, because of the fact that we are standing down fifth on that log.
Mr. Adi, anytime there is a group of football game and Nigeria is there, Nigeria will always be considered the best to get out or win the group. It's not new, but this is football. It's not always like that. We can see that in the Euro. Look at where France are qualifying from. Look at how Belgium are qualifying. They have the best of the best. And look at the teams that they are facing and the teams that are giving them issues. Teams that on paper, Nigerians will also pick those things. So football on paper is not really football. Football is on the field of play. And on the past problems that we've had. Yes, he has the mind or the right to say whatever he's saying because we lost again against them too. But then that is past now. The players and both the media to put that behind us and face whatever that is ahead and whatever that is ahead. In as much as it's challenging, it's also achievable. And
Okay, from the way it is right now, well, we're having issues with your audio there. Maybe as the show continues, you actually get it right. We've been talking concerning Super Eagles, that's Benin Republic coach Gernot Rohr, who has been with Nigeria before, now pitching 10th with Benin Republic, and they will be facing us. A tough one is going to be because according to the way it is right now, it's getting tougher and tougher. But by March next year, Eagles will be back to play the qualifiers, and who knows? The Eagles will actually be back with a bang against all the remaining teams that will be facing in this competition. It's still tall there, but it's achievable from the way it is. Well, we've been talking concerning Super Eagles, and also earlier we were talking about Brumes, where she said she wants to work harder with her coach. Let's go across over from there to Europe as we talk about a particular player of Nigerian descent who right now has been mentioned or listed in the Spanish team for the Olympics. His name is Samu Omorodion. Omorodion actually was born in Spain, but right now with Nigerian parents, but it's possible that he could be pushing his tent because he says from his mind, he's not looking at playing for Nigeria, and now he has been listed by the Spanish team for the Olympics Paris 2024 that will be coming up. Samu Omorodion has been listed among the players that will be playing their trades in that particular competition there. And from the way it is, the Atletico Madrid forward will be playing for Spain for the under-23 competition over there at the Olympics. But for the senior team, well, he's already saying, well, his mind is not there to play for Nigeria, although we've seen that some of these players actually perform well when it comes to their club side, and by the time they invited to Nigeria, some of them struggle. Talking about those Nigerian born abroad, why some will pick up and also do well. But for Samu Omorodion, right now, the Spanish team have actually listed him to be with them as a member of that team that will be going to France 2024 Olympics in Paris. Well, for him, we wish him the best as he has been enlisted. Let's see what happens, even though Nigeria won't be making that call there. But for Samu, he wants to play for Spain at the Olympics there. Well, for Joseph Peter, are you there? Okay, while we're talking about this, from the way it says, well, for Samu Omorodion, a player who really has been very fantastic for Atletico Madrid, but it's possible that he will decide to pitch his tent where the team called the Spain. That's where he will be playing his straight for Paris Olympics 2024 there. We wish him the best there. But right now, news reaching us says Nacho Nacho has pitched his tent with a team over there at the Saudi Arabian Pro League. Nacho joins Al Qassia on a 2-year deal from Real Madrid. Well, 34-year-old player decided to move on after a lot of controversy. Maybe he will stay with Los Blancos, but now has actually decided to join or pitch his tent with Al Qassia there on a 2-year deal. Nacho has been with Real Madrid for 12 years, and he has been able to achieve a lot of trophy. He won everything when it comes to club football. At least you look at Champions League, Primera Liga, all the competitions so far, he was able to win it, and now he decided to move and earn the oil money. Yes, the golf arena there, he will be joining Al Qassia in the Saudi Pro League. They've been pursuing him for a while, and finally, he has said yes to them, and he has signed with that club to see how he will continue his football trade with the Saudi Arabian League. Well, Ronaldo has really been opened the floodgate of so many players that moved from different nations to Saudi Pro League. Henderson, all of them, a lot of players, Karim Benzema, N'Golo Kante, all moving to play over there in Saudi Arabia. As we speak right now, Thomas Partey is also being pursued by a club in Saudi Pro League. And if everything goes well, Partey will also be moving to Saudi Arabia Professional League there. Well, really, all the players have been moving, and they want to make sure they sign the best of the best to make their league much more prosperous, so that a lot of prospective players can actually move. That okay, if this player can move, I can also make it down to the Saudi Pro League. But for Nacho, well, the former Real Madrid captain has been able to get his mindset to play in Saudi Pro League. That 2-year deal will fetch him a whole lot of money to him to enjoy his own retirement money there. Good one for him. After all, Ronaldo is still doing well with his team Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia. Different transfers here and there. For Saudi Pro League, they are also trying to see how they can better the lot of that league. And truly, it's getting better because attention has been on the Saudi Pro League right now, since the likes of Ronaldo was able to move Benzema and all the rest that moved to Saudi Arabia. That league has really been able to get the spotlight that it deserves, and is getting better. Apart from football, boxing also is really getting a lot of accolades from Saudi Arabia, because almost all the bouts are taking place in Saudi Arabia. For the past 2-3 years now, they have been top of the hour of all the activities in the world of sport, for the fact that they are doing so well. Right now we have Joseph back. Joseph, before you went off, it was about Samuel Morodion, who had decided to pitch his tent with Spanish team. He will be going to take him to the Olympics. And after that, we talked about Nacho joining Al Qassia in Saudi Arabia Pro League. So it's going to be 2-1 for you quickly. Yeah, I hope you can hear me now. Yes, we can hear you. Okay. So we know that congratulations to him. Not every player, not every Nigerian will play for the Super Eagles. All of them were strong, but we know who to give chance and who not to give chance. That's why you see the likes of Elite and the likes of Kaka play for that case. So really, we don't want to think on him, but congratulate him. I'm happy for him for the fact that he's going to represent Spain and making to get to India at senior level. I don't have issues with that. And his performance is making him and giving him these opportunities that he's getting. So really, it's a good thing for him, and I congratulate him. And as for Nacho has won everything in football. I think that okay, he wasn't really, participating as much, the previous other season. But last season, after the injury of that defender, the Brazilian defender, I believe that makes him the most important to the Madrid team, and he contributed a lot to success, I think, last season. And so after the team, I just actually making it up to the Pro League of Saudi, because they were in the lower division last year. It's a congratulations to them, and I'm happy for them. I believe a former Real Madrid player who is doing Michel is actually the coach. So he must have been the one who orchestrated this transfer. Congratulations to Nacho. Like you said, the sure gate that was opened by Ronaldo. Now we've seen like Henderson, and we've seen the Brazilian from Liverpool. Can't really remember his name right now. Another player, the player that we consider the best to win the time, is also included
the number of people or players that have come to Saudi Arabia, and like you said, people like Ati, and a lot of the rest of the agents are probably going to make this move. You see a lot of this constantly as the right now. So congratulations to Mr. Nacho, and he won a lot. He has won everything, so it's a very, very good time to go and make some bucks in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, there we just have to talk about Nacho and also Samuel Morodio. Before we go, let's look at Saudi side, Al Hilal. They could make at least a shocking move for Alejandro Garnacho, the young man who has been with against now the Copa America, but with also Manchester United. That's a surprise move anyway. Are you surprised, Joe, to hear this?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because I've seen how they made move for younger players last season and actually got them. And then let's not forget that the Southern American players have a reputation of going for the money. This is not the first time. We've seen it during the China revolution in football when they were, taking stars from Europe, where players like Ramirez were young and they made the move. So this should not surprise anybody. The Saudi Pro League is actually becoming tougher and tougher, and they have the money to throw it around. These players will take a look at themselves and begin to weigh up the whole duration of their career, and would maybe decide, okay, what if I take the money? Because they are all playing for the money, to be honest. To be candid, they are playing all for the money, although they tend to glorify the success more than the money, but we all know that they are playing for the money. So Garnacho can actually look at this and think, well, I can just go and spend 1 or 2 seasons, get the money. I'm young, right? I'm young. I can go there, spend 1 or 2 seasons. Even when I come back to Europe, I'm still 20 something anyway. I'm not even into my late 20s. So he can decide that this is smart. And Man United can actually use the money right now. If you look at their condition, although there has been a takeover, but really, is the money to spend? The way the others, the way Man City, the way Madrid are spending, is there that money? Is not that money available for Man U the way we all think it's going to be? I don't really think so. I think they are going to be smart with their transfer. And if selling Garnacho would fund maybe like 2 or 3 good players, team squad players that they need right now, then why not? I mean, I'm not trying to pour gas into this rumor, right? But I'm just saying this is Saudi Arabia and this is money we are talking about, and money move things and money make things happen, right? So you don't be surprised if it happens.
Wow, seriously, a lot of shocking moves are coming from Saudi Arabia there. And the last one on the show has to do with basketball legend. You call him Shaquille ONeal right now. He's ready to buy some stake rather over there in West Ham United. Just like LeBron James also has been invested in clubs. A lot of them are really trying to see how they can invest in different clubs, apart from the fact that they play basketball. So for Shaquille ONeal, the big man, he wants to at least exercise some business franchise with West Ham to get some stake.
Yeah, and what's a better team to exercise that kind of franchise in than a London team? When you are investing your money into a London team, you're actually making good investment, because they are all considered to be, one of the elite clubs in UK. Not just the elite clubs, they tend to, win things more. They tend to be there in the Premier League and not relegate as much. So if you look at the London clubs, you will see a lot of, gain in actually investing in them. But then investment matters only if it's done at a certain degree or in a certain amount. Is he going to, invest into West Ham for them to be able to buy the best players in the world and be like the Man Cities and the Chelseas that we've seen? Or he's just going to make a quiet kind of investment like the kind that has been done at Everton recently, even the one that was done at, I think, AC Milan? So, those kinds of investments may not really pay value, because if it doesn't move the club from one level to the other, then you tend not to make the profit that is expected, right? So I hope the kind of investment he is looking to make is the kind that will change West Ham as a club for them to become one of the powerhouse of not just England, but of Europe.
Well, a big one for the man, Shaquille ONeal there. Well, from the way it is. A lot of ex-players in different sports are investing in football and every other franchise in sport, and that's a good one, because after you retire from their football, you can also go into other business. After all, we have a lot of international stars who have taken different organizations that have to do with sporting business. David Beckham and all of them are also trying to do well there. Well, our own guys at least smoother moves to play golf, and now he's a golfer, professional golfer at that. And that's a good one there. Well, Joseph Peter, we want to appreciate you for joining us from Kaduna. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Okay, good one. At least for Joseph Peter, joining us from Kaduna there to make some point concerning all the stories that we have for you on the show. Sports Update, to update you on the show. Right now, we have to go. I'm Adeni Aji Shafe. Thanks for watching.